hundreds of thousands of us have poured onto the streets. And this is the beginning of a civil rights movement in this century that will not go away until we have every right of every other citizen in the United States.
Right. Something that was profound for us, also the moment that we married, was hearing those words, "By virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of California, I pronounce you spouses for life." That moment is truly transformative for us because it was the first time in our lives, truly the first time in our lives, that we felt that our government was treating us as equal human beings.
We fight for this right with so much anger and fury, and when I was actually able to marry people, we could not stop weeping through the entire ceremony because I realized we were giving each other back our humanity. And when you allow gays and lesbians to marry, you really allow everybody to be human, and it's a beautiful thing.
So somehow gay and lesbian couples getting married threatens marriage, when in reality, I know personally my marriage to my wife of almost 25 years is stronger because of the witness of these couples that are getting married.
The first part was a ceremony where we were married. But the second part came when Proposition 8 passed and we were no longer just married, we became welded. We became welded together. Like two lovers, two friends, and now two warriors.
I was so disappointed on November 4th, and for so many reasons. I mean, I was happy that Obama won. This is very exciting. But I was heartbroken that Proposition 8 passed, and I thought...
Given what you said in your recent opinion that led to the legalization of our marriages, you have no choice but to invalidate Proposition 8. California is watching, the nation is watching, the whole world is watching to see what you do, justices. It is we who are now standing on your courthouse steps. We are holding hands with a person of our choice, just like the mixed-race couples of 1948.
They're not just our heroes, but they're our examples, because my 84-year-old mom and dad are an interracial couple who know the freedom to marry as a personal struggle. My mom is Chinese, my dad is English and Irish. When my mom went to the University of California, she could not marry a person of another race. It wasn't until 1948 that California overturned that discriminatory law. That was exactly 60 years ago that California led the way in the freedom to marry.
It is a historic tradition of protest in this country dating back to the tea in Boston Harbor. They called us anarchists, but that's not what we are. We are old and young, gay and straight. We are men and women. We are people of faith. We are people of many colors who are all committed to one common, shared, achievable aspiration of the American dream: liberty and justice for all. Not just some, but all.
It seems to me it is fundamentally unfair that in the state of California, Scott Peterson, a convicted murderer who murdered his pregnant wife and his unborn child, can have that right to marry even though he is undeserving, and gay and lesbian couples who've been together for 50 years and who are deserving cannot marry. There's something wrong with that, and we're going to correct it.
There's one sign there from Sergeant Strasburger.
Yay, Sergeant!
United States Marine Corps. I protected your freedom, his sign says. Now protect mine!
Number one, my body was not a choice, and neither was your orientation.
First, they ignore you. Then they laugh at you. Then they fight you. then you win!
Now, this week, finally, we are so happy to say, the Supreme Court of California sent me this. They accepted our case challenging.
Fight this battle on every front. We're going to have to fight it at the ballot box, we're going to have to fight in the courts, and we're going to have to fight in the legislature, and we're going to have to fight in the court of public opinion. We're going to need to change hearts and minds. So none of us can give up. We have to work together.
But that religiously based homophobia needs to be addressed with compassion and care, because not everybody who's infected with homophobia is a bad person. They are an uneducated person. They are a person who's been fed lies and fears.
Take the time to know one another. Understand that when we talk about equality, understand that when we talk about being together and moving forward, it really means taking the risk of being together, of being with one another, of sitting down with one another and having the difficult conversations and asking the hard questions and not pointing the finger, because like I said, every time I point a finger at you, I've got at least 3 fingers, well 4 including my thumb, pointed back at me.
We're going to pledge the first $1 million to put this on the ballot if we don't win in court. And if we do win in court, we're going to take that $1 million and make sure that we defend every judge who stood up to the right-wing bigots.
Proposition 8 is anti-American. What do you want? When do you want it? What do you want? When do you want it?
We shall fight to preserve your basic rights. We will eliminate the fires of prejudice, and we shall overcome. Thank you.
We will not rest until we can say, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf of California, from the Central Valley to the San Francisco Bay, from the neighborhoods of LA to Sacramento, where the state capital is, this land of California is truly made for you and you and you and you and you and you and me.